Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to this slow flow yoga class. We are going to kind of slowly build up, starting with some hip opening postures, strengthening the back, working into some floor based back bends, and then kind of take that work into some standing postures. We'll do some twisting and then coming back down. For props today, a couple blocks if you have them, something to kneel on. And we'll get started back on the mat in a supported squat. And we're going to take it kind of mid-mat today. So a little different orientation. I'm going to set myself up so that I'm facing sideways on my mat, and I have this long area to the right of me and this long area to the left. And I'm sitting on two blocks. Let's see, will one block cut it for me today? Yeah, I think one block will cut it. So you could do two or one block, whatever feels nice, and come into this supported squat where you have the knees nice and wide, the feet are planted to the ground. If the heels are lifted, take the feet a little bit further away from you and then angle the toes outwards slightly. And then once you are settled in there, you'll just go ahead and start tuning into your breath. And you can rest your hands on your legs. Sometimes it's nice to take the forearms just to the inside of the knees to kind of help them track out and that external rotation. And then imagine as you're breathing in, you're drawing the energy up through your feet, the crown of your head, and then on your exhale, it's melting back down into your mat. If you haven't already, start to engage your core very gently as you breathe out. Letting the abdomen fill as you breathe in. And then we're going to go ahead and take this into a forward folding variation. So you'll take the arms to the inside of your legs, and then the hands come down to the ground or maybe to a prop, and see if you can let the head go too. And from here, we'll come into a forward fold. So as I keep my hands or bring my hands down to the ground, I'm going to lift my seat from my blocks and take my feet pretty wide. And I'll go ahead and position a block under each of my hands. I'll keep my knees soft, but also my feet pressing down into the ground. Give the head a little shake yes and no, just to loosen and soften the muscles in the back of the neck. And give those ears some freedom from your shoulders, putting them back onto your back. And then gently walk both hands over towards the right foot. You can take a little halfway lift as you breathe in, and then exhale, bow the head again. Come back through center slowly, and then both hands over to the left. We'll do that halfway lift again, and then the bow. Back through center. Bend the knees considerably, send the hips back. Bring one hand to your hip, the other hand to your hip, and then stand up through your feet. Really wring out the muscles of your legs. Give them a good squeeze. And as you breathe in, reach your arms high, and then we'll fold in half again in this wide-legged forward fold. Hands to blocks again. This time we're gonna walk our hands all the way over to the top of our mat or the right side of your mat. Whatever way you have to walk over to have your right foot facing forward. And then we're kind of in a pyramid pose here now, right? So I'm gonna bring my back foot down almost like that warrior one stance. And my right toes are facing forward. And then as I inhale, I'm going to tap my back knee up and lift my chest, lift my gaze, breathe in. Exhale back to that pyramid and really pushing down into the ball of the foot of that front leg. Inhale, tap. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, tap. Exhale, pyramid. And you can bow in your pyramid or you can stay lifted in a halfway lift. Whatever feels good. Do that a couple more times. And then tap that left knee down. And then let's bring both hands inside the right foot. You can untuck the left toes if they're not there already. And we'll bring the right foot a little bit wider and angling the right toes out on an angle. You can stay with your hands on the blocks, or if it would feel nice, maybe you come down forearms to blocks. All right, if the forearms are down, go ahead and bring your palms to the blocks. We'll tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, and then the hands walk back over to the center of the mat. Keep the feet nice and wide. Maybe the toes angle in. If you feel like you're slipping out, you can take it a little bit more narrowly. Again, soft knees, but strong legs. Take a halfway lift as you breathe in. And then forward bow as you exhale. The hands could stay to blocks, or maybe they come down to the mat. And we're going for this alignment where our shoulders are in line with our elbow. Our elbows aren't winging out past our shoulder. And we have our wrist right underneath our elbow. And that puts us in a really strong position. You can feel if you press down that your hands can take some of the weight of the pose. Just as in our opening squat, imagine as you're inhaling, you're drawing the energy up the outer side of your legs to the back of your sacrum, staying nice and strong. And we'll bring our hands back to the blocks if they're not there already. And then we'll walk our hands over to frame our left foot. And we're into that pyramid pose. So I'll bring my right foot, my back foot down. My left toes are facing that back edge of the mat, and we'll go through our low lunge as we inhale and lift our heart. Exhale, pyramid pose. And I think we did about 5 on the other side. So aim for that here. No rush. When you're ready, bring that right foot knee down, and then both hands inside the left foot as I work my left foot out slightly on that angle. I'll untuck my back toes, root that back foot down, and decide to stay up or come down to forearms. All right, the hands return to the blocks. The back toe tucks, the back knee lifts, and the hands walk back to the center of the mat. One more time, we come to that wide-legged forward fold. Soft knees, strong legs, halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, maybe hands come to the mat. All right, hands to blocks, and we're gonna frame our right foot again. So over to the right I go. I'm gonna have a block on either side. Let's do, let's say 3 more of those tapping to pyramid. So inhale, we tap the knee down, lift the heart. Exhale, pyramid. Tap and pyramid. Tap and pyramid. All right, in your pyramid, come into a little halfway lift. I'm going to orient my blocks on the highest height just to help me do that. Lifting my chest, my crown of my head reaching forward. And from here, I'm going to come into a standing leg split. So I'll walk my feet just forward of that right foot as my back leg takes flight. Right, long and strong as we breathe out. Spacious as we breathe in. And then we'll soften to forward fold. So bend both knees. As you bring the feet maybe hip width distance and bow the head. Strengthen up those legs. Right, breathing through the bottom of our feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Reach up, mountain pose. Exhale. All right, we're going to take a little sun salutation here. Reach up as you breathe in. Fold in half as you breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Move to your plank. Exhale, feet step back. Nice and strong with the legs. Lift the chin off the chest. Reach the heart forward as the elbows bend and lower down. Tops of toes press, strong legs. As we press down and pull back, staying light in our hands. Remember, not a push-up. We lift, we lower. Let's do 2 more of those. That felt really good. Morning back bends, warming up, just gentle. And then from here, we'll move to our table and set up for dog pose. Strong arms, lengthening out our neck, our spine, strong legs. Next, inhale, look forward. As you soften the knees, prepare to come to the top of your mat. Set up for your halfway lift as you breathe in. Forward fold, exhale. Rise to stand and reach. Back to our mountain pose again. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Come into your halfway lift. Find those blocks again and step the left foot way back. The foot can come down. Both hands inside that right leg. And we'll come back over through center. Our wide-legged forward fold. Right, again, really feel those strong legs rooting down as you take your halfway lift. And then we bow. Hands will find the blocks, and then over to the left foot we go. We'll frame that left foot in our pyramid pose, and we'll do 3 of the taps. Inhale, the right knee taps as I lift my heart and my gaze. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, tap. Exhale, pyramid. One more time, meaning in our pyramid pose. Set up for a standing leg split. I'll put the blocks on the highest height as my right foot takes flight. Can you stay a little lighter in your hands? Can you get a little stronger in that lifted leg? And then soften the knees to forward fold. Nice waterfall of energy here in our forward fold. As we breathe, the energy goes up to our sacrum and then down our spine and out our head. Inhale to a halfway lift. Forward fold as you exhale. Rise to stand. Find mountain pose. All right, our sun salutation. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to plank. So your shoulders away from your ears, on your back. Reach your heart forward. Elbows bend back as we lower down. Tops of toes press, strong legs. Hands press down and pull back as we lift up for a cobra. And lower. Twice more. And move through table and into dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step. Onto your halfway lift. And forward fold. Rise to stand and reach. And find your mountain. Breathe out. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold in half. Come to your halfway lift and find your blocks. The right leg will lunge back. Both hands inside the left foot as I come back over to the center of the mat. Prepared for another. Right, one more wide-legged forward fold. I'll take my halfway lift, find my strong legs. And then as I bow, maybe the hands come to the ground. Maybe you play with widening the feet. Remember that alignment, keeping wrists over elbows and elbows in line with shoulders. Maybe the top of your head gently comes to the mat, but remember, it's not a weight-bearing entity. The hand should be strong, pressing down. The feet should be strong. And the head to the ground is just ceremonial. Find your blocks, come back to that halfway lift, and then let's hop the feet back to center. All right, so the feet are touching, and I'm gonna come down into a toe squat. So as I come down into the toe squat, my heels are going to lift, and I'm on the balls of my feet, and you can use your hands in front of you, or maybe alongside of you. This is a nice one for the calves. Right, you can allow the heels to descend towards the ground. Maybe they get there. And then try to keep the chest as upright as you can. Once you get over the newness of everything, which can be hard with poses we don't do a lot, see if you can focus the gaze to one spot, and maybe the hands can come from the blocks. I'm bringing my hands to heart center. That seems natural for me, but they might reach out forward as a counterbalance. All right, and then when you're ready, hands return to blocks if they lifted, and you can come into that forward fold. Legs are together in this one. And soften the knees. Find your mountain pose as you stand tall. All right, we're gonna move to the top of our mat. Kind of done working from that center spot, and we'll make one side of our mat our home base. And find your mountain pose. We're gonna do some sun salutation bees and do a little twisting. As you inhale, reach your arms high. Feel that nice long spine as you reach up. And then as you exhale, fold in half. Feel your core pull you deeper into your bow. Long spine, we lift. And we move to our plank pose. Hands come down to blocks or the mat. Create a nice, strong base. Reach that heart forward. Feel the shoulders come down and on your back as you lower. Tops of toes press. I lift my heart. I feel my strong upper back and the freedom in my neck. And then I move to my dog pose. In dog pose, my right leg goes up and back, hugging in the outer hips. Come into that hanging plank on your next exhale. Step the right foot forward. The left foot can come down if you'd like, or you can keep it lifted. I'll take the left hand to a block. Press into that, feel a little space between my torso and my right thigh, that right hip hugging in as I reach my right arm high for a twist. All right, I'm gonna widen my feet left to right in my twist here and come all the way up, reaching my left arm forward, my right arm back. Standing twist. Right back foot can come down too, again, whatever's your preference. All right, untwist the torso, and then let's just step to our mountain pose. Shake out the legs, and then we'll sit up for our second side. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, fold, strong core, release the head. Inhale, long spine, move to your plank. Lengthen and lower. Back bend. And move to your dog. Left leg back and up. Hanging plank. Left foot forward. Find a block for the right hand. Strong outer hips, a little space between the torso and the thigh here as you reach your left arm skyward. Okay. I'll widen my feet left to right a little bit and start taking weight out of this block hand as I reach the hand forward. Left arm back, and I'm going to gaze back there just to help me remember to reach. All right, release from the twist, and we'll step to our mountain pose. Whew, okay. Let's do some floor work, strengthening and opening up our back. So we'll take a little vinyasa to bring us down to our mat. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you fold in half. Long spine as you breathe in. Plank pose as you exhale. Lengthen, lower, and stay. Let's let the hands sweep back so that the pinky fingers graze the thighs and the palms are down. Rest the head, strengthen up the legs. Now feel the shoulders go down away from the ears and towards each other on your back as you press your palms down and lift your chest. Maybe the hands float, and as the fingers reach towards the feet, the pinky fingers also reach towards each other. Maybe the feet float too. And lower down. You can let the palms slip over if that feels nice and bring one cheek to the mat. All right, we're gonna try that again. This time interlacing our hands behind our back or maybe using a strap, right? Anything can be a strap. A t-shirt can be a strap. So if you're interlacing, it just gives the shoulders a little bit more space. Make sure you're not hyperextending the elbows. Keep them a little bit soft, right? Especially a problem if you're interlacing your fingers, right? And then same thing, strong legs, shoulders down away from the ears and towards each other as we lift. The hands might float from your sacrum. The feet might float from the ground, but do what feels best. Going into a depth of the pose should feel like blossoming. Now, when you're ready, you can release and bring the opposite cheek down to the mat. All right, come up into a Sphinx pose. Keep the arms the elbows a little bit further forward of your shoulders if the back is sensitive. Now my left leg will bend, so my left foot lifts. My left arm will go diagonal across the front of my mat to support me as my right arm reaches back for my foot, or I could use my strap to interlace. And then if you're using your strap, you can come out of the twist if you'd like, or you can stay choked up onto the twist so that right arm is still reaching back and you're getting the benefit of the twist. Now, wherever you are, press actively down into that left forearm so that you're staying nice and strong. Keep that left shoulder away from the left ear. And then as you reach for your strap or your foot, the foot is actively trying to flick away, right, towards the room behind you. And your hand or your strap is gently pulling to keep it in. So we're activating those muscles. And then release. Come down to baby crocodile for a moment in between sides. And when you're ready to the other side we go, we start in Sphinx. The right arm, right forearm will come diagonally across to support us. The right foot lifts and the left hand reaches back. Right, keeping that right shoulder away from my right ear. I'm really pressing down with my right palm, my right forearm. Keeping that back leg active as it tries to kick away. My hands pulling it towards, but my arm is also extended. So I'm getting a nice stretch across my chest too. And release, come on down. Rest the head. And you could take just some still breaths into the lower back. That feels nice. Or you could do some windshield wipers with the legs, taking them side to side. All right, we're gonna come up to our table and then flip ourselves over onto our back. We'll start in our half cork shape where the knees are bent, hip width distance, and then my feet are right under my knees. And it might be nice if you're up right while you're transitioning to make sure that you have your strap handy just in case, block just in case. And I'll start by gripping my mat just about alongside of my hips, right? However long my arms are, just so my arms can be extended. And as I press down with my arms, I feel a little puff of my chest. As I step into my feet, I feel my tail lengthen, right, towards my feet just a little bit. And then I come up into bridge pose. The arms could walk a little closer. You might interlace your hands or use your strap. And remember, the arms should be really weight bearing, rooting down with the hands, the wrists, the forearms to keep the weight in the head nice and light. Right? And the strength of the feet and the glutes lifting and opening up the front of the hips. When you're ready, you can release and come to a knee knot pose, taking the feet wide, letting the knees fall open, and I'll rest my arms into a bowl pose shape. Right? Feel as we rest here how the shoulder blades are firmly on our back. All these back bends really help to counter that forward rolling shoulder posture that we all get in the habit of. It's just gravity. All right, we'll try another bridge. So bring the feet in a little bit more narrowly towards that hip width. We'll grip the mat to start. Lengthen the spine and step into the feet. Right, decide if you need a more gentle bridge. You can always take that block and place it underneath your sacrum, or maybe you're interlacing again or using your strap. Right, feel your own energy and decide what feels good for you today. Sometimes your body needs to have another strong, deep pose, and that feels good. And sometimes the energy is gone and you need a little bit more of a restful variation. And we'll come down to that knee knock one more time. And let's windshield wiper the legs. In this orientation, letting the knees go side to side. And then as we come back to center, we'll let the bottoms of the feet come together, the knees fall out for butterfly, Baddha Konasana, and you could rest one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. This is a great way just to connect with the warmth of your body, your circulation, your breath, your blood, right? All the change that you created in your body through this movement. All right, we're gonna rock and roll up to a seat. So the legs will come together and then I'll give them a hug in towards the chest, maybe behind the knees or around the shins as we tuck the chin. And we'll take a few rocks, as long as that feels good on your spine, up to a seated posture. And then I like a little blanket to sit on, whatever you choose. And then we'll take this upright butterfly with the knees falling out and the bottoms of the feet together. Now in this one, we really want to activate our base so we can start from a nice long spine position, which makes flexing at the hips a little bit more possible, right? So strong legs, and then I reach the belly button towards my feet. I can feel my Thanksgiving weekend tightness here, and I'm not normally getting my range. So joyfully meeting where we are today. And then as we come up, extend the right leg out. And then we'll round and flex here as the left hand reaches over and bow the head. And we'll come up and switch sides. Left leg out, right leg in. Same strong lower body as I flex and round. As I come up, I'll extend both legs out for my Dandasana pose. Right, really simple pose, but teaching the body how to sit well. Strong legs, feel your core engaged, and a nice long spine. Hands can kind of press down into the ground alongside you. And taking it into our forward fold, our Paschimottanasana, the arms can reach up, and then we hinge at the feet. After we've hinged all we can hinge, we decide if we want to round as well. Up. Our seated twist, the left leg will bend and the foot comes to the opposite side of the left leg. And then my left leg will bend back towards the opposite hip. Find that nice upright position as I twist to my right. My left arm might come up and over that right leg. Make sure you're not leaning back in this one, keeping the hips right underneath your shoulders as you gaze over that right shoulder behind you. Breathing through your twist here. And then we'll unravel. Legs out into the other side. Left leg will bend and the foot will come to the mat on the opposite side of the right leg. I'll bend that right knee and the foot comes back towards the opposite hip. Sitting nice and tall, my shoulders over my hips as I twist to the left. My left arm tense behind me. My right arm comes up and over. Feel that free neck as my shoulders drop away from my ears and I gaze back behind me. Right, twist, and then we'll take it down to our mat. Make sure that your block is within reach. Coming through half course, we'll take the block, slide it underneath the back of the sacrum. I like my arms in that goalpost shape, and then I'll dangle the feet up towards the ceiling. Nice spot to take some circles with the wrists and the ankles. Anytime we feel like we need to help our digestion, right, we can always bend the knees and flex at the hips, bringing the thighs towards the abdomen. Wringing out the sponge there. And then I'll bring the legs down and set the block aside and get ready for my last supine twist. I'll step into my feet and bring my hips a little bit over to the left. My knees will come into the chest and they'll fall right. The right hand could rest on the outer left leg as you gaze over towards the left hand. And come back to center. Hips back to center, and then we'll do that to the other side. I bring my hips over to the right, my knees come in and fall left. That left hand could rest wherever it feels good as I gaze out towards my right hand. And come back to center. And we'll find a restful moment here. Shavasana, right? And just as important as resting the body, we rest the mind for a few rounds of breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Circle the ankles and wrists in both directions. And take a little massage to your spine by hugging the knees, taking some rocks side to side, maybe some circles with the knees, and then rock and roll up to a seat. Sitting nice and tall, notice the space you created in your body and your mind. Hands come to heart center, Anjali Mudra, with gratitude for all that we have. And together we breathe in. Exhale out. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, ask questions, and I hope to see you around. Take care.